Hi, it's Tony Ozanne from the Small Interview Project, and today I'll be talking to Alan Myburgh from Nutmeg Catering. Today I'm with Alan Myburgh from Nutmeg Catering, and he's going to go through the Small Interview Project. So how are you today, Alan?
Yeah, very good, Tony. Thanks very much for having me.
Not a problem, my pleasure. Thanks for taking part. Nutmeg Catering, tell me about what it is you do.
Well, we are event caterer, specialising in doing corporate or private catering of all different types and any type of nature of catering. So in the private market, we'd go after landmark celebrations of any type, so weddings, birthdays, christenings, anything like that. Dinner parties as well. People want to have a really nice top-end dinner party to celebrate something. That's the kind of market we're going for, private business. And then corporate business is more along the lines of gala dinners for charitable organisations, boardroom lunches, any events or launches or product launches that might need a cocktail reception or a canapé reception or some form of innovative food solution, grazing style menus where people might want to stand around, have a glass of champagne, eat mini meals, that type of thing. So the idea is very innovative, good food styling, and I always like to say a food solution. I like to find a food solution for anyone's requirement.
Right, so you'll cover individual classes or mainly the group and the largest scale events?
We like to go after larger scale events. That's the ideal situation, especially in the corporate business. Large corporates that really want to set themselves apart and really make for a really good, well-branded launch or a really good event. And that catering is a very integral part of the event.
Okay, good. Sounds like you must be a good cook then. You're a chef,
well,
sorry, a chef, not a cook.
Hope so.
Okay, so tell me, why did you go into business?
From a young age, I've always been fairly entrepreneurial, so I chose cooking. Cooking's my first love. That's what I really love to do. So, I suppose getting the two together, business and a good entrepreneurial mindset, along with the cooking, is why I'm in the catering business. But I just find that working in gainful employment, paid employment, doesn't satisfy me as much. It doesn't give me the challenge and the creativity that I strive for being in business for myself. Sure. Okay. And I sense a bit of an accent there. So obviously Australia's not the native place of birth. So no, not at all. And
here for the opportunity, or?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So South Africa to London to Ireland, where my wife's from, through the last 13 years or so. That's been the travels. And for opportunity, absolutely. Cool. Australia was the
international chef.
Well, there's a bit of international experience going.
No, that's great, excellent. If you had to start again, which I guess it sounds like you probably recently have started again, what have you done differently?
This time I took a lot more advice. I was in business in Ireland for some 5.5 years, restaurants and event catering. Right. I took a lot more advice. Maybe in the last 5 years, there were times where you'd find that you're a little bit invincible, and that it was entirely your decision. And through that process, you can look back and you can realise that a lot of people are genuinely there to give you good advice. Sure. They're not cynics. 99% of people I find really do genuinely, objectively give you the best advice, and then outsource quite a lot of the stuff that you can't do yourself to make more time available. I wanted to get, this time around, what I do best is produce, dare I say it, sensational food. I'm a good cook. That's what I spend a lot of my time becoming good at. So I like to outsource the stuff that I'm not best at for someone else to look after. So that's really a big thing that the approach I've taken now.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and that's a great outlook to have too, because if you're not great at doing bookwork, you get a bookkeeper. If you're not good at doing marketing, you get a marketer.
Without a doubt, and then keeping a check on them. Absolutely. That's what it's about. Yeah,
absolutely. All right. And I guess that would be your biggest challenge, would it be? Like sort of focusing on the core, or what is your biggest business challenge that you've come across?
Yeah, that is the big challenge for me, staying on top of the administrative side of things. I love to network, I love to sell, I love to go and do the big sell on my food. I'm confident in selling my food and selling what I can do for people. That side of it I love, along with producing the food. The difficulty for me at times is keeping an eye on admin, making sure I'm on top of all the paperwork.
I think we all understand where you're coming from. And how do you challenge working on versus in the business?
At this point in time, it really is just me and some temporary staff that give me a hand as I get bigger functions. The way I look at it is, catering and the type of business, and putting and networking, putting feelers out and trying to get some leads, and that can be done after hours, and can be done sort of late afternoon. So I use that a lot of the time for doing and trying to catch up on the admin and doing the paperwork, and then putting out leads and doing a few cold calls and sending some information to people regarding my catering. And then early morning starts at the kitchen, get the goodies into the kitchen, prepare a lot of the food. Evelyn, my wife, helps me out quite a bit.
Okay.
Helps me in the pot wash and
Yep.
keeps things clean. But yeah, so it's a lot of the time it's hands-on during the morning hours and into the afternoon, delivering food to where it needs to be.
Yep.
And then afternoon times after that, clean down the kitchen, settle in, and look at doing the other sides of the business.
Excellent. So are you actually based in a kitchen at the moment, or?
Yeah, we do. We've got a small premises in Fishwick that we work from.
Okay.
Professional, food accredited premises that I work in conjunction with another business that doesn't use it all the time.
Okay.
So that's how I managed to start up.
Right.
But real top end facility, but a bit small. But
Yep.
I'm on the cusp of something very exciting and getting myself into a far bigger and better premises at the moment, and I'll actually know more about it this week. And once that goes ahead, the notice will be put out.
Well, good luck with that. And my final question for you, Alan, is what advice would you have for any potential newbies to business? So someone who's about to make that plunge and go into business, might be an apprentice chef or something like that, deciding to go by themselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's I suppose the same with what's happened to me recently and in my career. Like, never accept failure.
Yep.
Your bounce back ability is what's really going to give you credibility, and is really going to show people in business that you really mean business.
Yep.
Have faith in everything that you believe in. Have the idea you've got, follow it through. Really, don't accept second best. And then, like I said earlier, I really do think that you've got to take advice. You've got to listen to what people say to you, speak to experts. Sometimes it's going to cost you a bit of money, but it's going to save you a lot in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. Alan, great advice, great business. Everybody loves food, so I'm sure we can all relate to you. So maybe one day we'll have a meal somewhere and you can critique it for us.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Tony.